Removal and replacement of the Platen Assembly. 1. Disconnect the Platen shift bell crank spring from the bracket link. Step 1 of the removal of the Platen Assembly is to remove this bell crank spring.
And you are listening to the Star.
2. Remove the 2 machine screws, flat washers, and lock washers that hold the bracket link to the teletypewriter frame. 2 is to remove the machine screws that hold the bracket link in place. And there's 2 of them. I'm going to set these aside, and I'm going to put it back in the hole after the Platen assembly is out. Three, remove the 2 retainer rings that hold the connecting links to the studs on the Platen assembly. Disconnect the connecting links from the Platen assembly. Remove the bracket link. 3 is to remove these retainer rings to these connecting links. Okay, it's down below. I'm going to find it. I will be putting this back on the link stud there. Bonus! Okay, same thing applies. That will go back on after it's disassembled. 4. Remove the retainer ring from the Platen shift arm. Disconnect the Platen shift link from the Platen shift arm. 4 is to remove this retainer ring from this Platen shift arm. Remove the retainer ring from the line feed lever. Disconnect the connecting link from the line feed lever. 5 is to remove this retainer ring from the line feed lever. 6. Remove the two set screws that hold the eccentric pivots to the two ends of the typewriter frame. Remove the assembled eccentric pivots. The two hexagonal nuts and the spacing collar need not be removed from each of the eccentric pivots. 6 is to remove the two set screws that hold the eccentric pivot to the typewriter frame. The hexagonal nuts and the spacing collar, which is on the other side, do not have to be removed. This is the other side. Seven. Lift the Platen Assembly from the typewriter frame. Woo! Step 7 is you lift the Platen Assembly off. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the linkages that I took the rings off of, and make sure there's no washers to fall off. Okay, there's a washer here. I'll go ahead and put a ring back on that. Need to remove the eccentric pivots. Make sure there's no washers. Okay. And we'll set that. Well, this one doesn't want to come. Oh. The next step is to lift it off. And there's our Platen. I'm going to go ahead and put the snap rings back on and put the other pieces where they belong wherever I can. Just a few notes. There was already a broken spring on the bracket link next to the bell crank spring, and I put the retainer rings back on regardless if they were holding something or not, just to keep them in place. So I did the same on this side. There's a little link. I put the set screws back in the typewriter frame. I put the pivot eccentric pivots back into their shafts. I didn't quite tighten this down. I'm just going to go ahead and leave that loose. So what I did is I put the parts back on just so that they would not get lost. I also put the little spring back on, and just gonna kind of have to keep an eye on that stuff. Alright, that was the Platen Assembly removal. Next up is the carriage. Good night.